I took a townhome like this that was taking 9 months to build and did it in 4. Here's one thing that helped me build faster. So in the building process, first thing you want to do is define all the materials that are going into the building and who's going to install them, right? So we would do that. And the second part of that is verifying the lead times. How long does it take for those materials to arrive once you order them, right? I then built it into my schedule. So if you see here, here's an example of how it looked, right? So if we have the foundation and it takes a week, we have plumbing and it also takes a week, and so on, right? Framing, blah, blah, blah. Well, if I want the windows to install in this time frame after windows are done, and here, I need to order the windows the same time foundations are, right? Because the lead time on those are 1, 2, 6, 8 weeks, right? So it takes about 8 weeks for windows to be delivered and installed. We don't want to order it too late, right? Because then we're waiting for our 4-way inspection, and most cities want windows installed, right? So if we're waiting on windows to be installed, the building's sitting, and during that time it's accruing interest if a building's loan's being used. So now essentially more expenses, and it delays it, and then you have to reschedule everyone for your project, causes headaches. Then the next part of it is we're going to verify the window install about 3 to 4 weeks ahead of schedule. So sometime around here we're going to verify. The reason I'm doing that is sometimes stuff happens and your lead time gets expanded, or you just need to make sure there's a crew set aside that will be able to install the windows. Because the next part of this is you don't want materials to arrive too early, because if they arrive too early, you're moving them around, you can't complete the project. So you don't want materials just sitting there and blocking the way, and you're higher risk of them being stolen, higher risk of them being damaged, and it costs money for you as the general contractor if you're having to move as the project manager, or you have to have someone else move the materials, because everyone costs money. So the more time they spend moving materials, the less productive they are on other things. And then your subcontractors is going to cost them money, right? And so you want to build a system where everyone's winning. And so I had this happen one time. We had windows arrive, they're in the garage, the electricians couldn't complete their work because the windows were blocking where they need to install conduit and stuff. That's why you don't want to deliver too early, and you don't want to deliver too late. So just verifying install so it happens and you get delivered one day, next day they're installed, so they're not blocking everyone. Now, as far as verifying the lead times, you want to do this well in advance of your project, preferably before even permitting happens. In my experience, our windows were our long lead time items, and we actually had to order windows the same day the building went into permit for the townhomes. The reason being that the windows would be holding us up at 4-way inspection if we ordered it normally like we did when foundations were done. So just continually verifying your lead times as you build is a great thing, just to make sure everything's going to arrive when you need it. And so an example here we're going to use on the board is, let's say you're building a house and you want a specific type of fireplace, and it has specific stone, and it takes a while to get ordered, right? And to make sure it arrives on time, you need to order it well in advance when the foundations are being ordered. When the foundations are being placed, better said. So we want the fireplace ordered same time as foundations. The reason being is we go to our next phase of like drywall, flooring, trim, painting, and cabinets. The fireplace can be installed anytime after drywall and after painting, let's say, during the building process. So it's not gonna delay anyone, but the closer you get to the certificate of occupancy, you need it to have it. And so if I order it during foundation and it doesn't arrive till cabinets are installed, that's a very long lead time. Because right here we have 8 weeks, and then here, let's say this is another week, a week here. These are all hypotheticals. These aren't actual timelines, but just to kind of give you an idea, right? So if the fireplace isn't arriving till here, we're having to order 12 weeks in advance, right? And if I order when the framing's done, the house might not have a fireplace by the time certificate of occupancy comes. And that's going to cause issues. You're going to delay the customer getting moved in. You can delay getting certificate of occupancy. And it's going to cost money because every day it sits there, the price goes up. Essentially, your costs will go up. If you're managing the project and you're a project manager, cost just starts going up unless the client is going to pay the extra money of interest that's occurred. So that's just that one thing helped me cut my townhomes from 9 months to 4 months. Other project managers were taking 9 months to complete it, and I was able to do it in 4 months just by doing this thing, building the procurement schedule into my timelines. So I knew when to verify things, knew when to order it, and I wasn't ordering things too early and having to store them and risking them getting damaged. And I wasn't ordering things too late to have them delay. This is something you can do to help improve your projects and your timeliness. Thank you for watching.